started about 5 years ago, and Craig Goldie contacted me and said he'd like to do something, do a project. Let's get together and write, because we had played together doing some covers in an all-star thing called the Hollywood All-Stars.
Well, I was contacted by Serafino, the president of Frontiers. He wanted to do an album with famous guys from the 80s, and I was absolutely flabbergasted that they came to me for it, so I was more than happy to say yes.
Greg told me he was doing this project. He needed somebody to play drums on it, and he would love me to come check it out. And played me a couple of songs, I loved it, and so I said, yeah, I'll do it. So I laid all the drum tracks down, sent them back, and I thought it came out great.
I got to give it up to Frontiers Records, man. They're keeping this music alive. They're signing the bands of our genre and keeping it going, and basically it comes down to fans, fans, they love this music and they want it. They want new music. They want to go see it live, and Frontiers is really keeping that going, and I got to give them props for that, because there's not a lot of labels doing that.
I like Living Out Loud. It's a kicker right now. Sounds fantastic, so it came out really well, really well. A lot of energy, a lot of excitement.
Originally I had the music, I had learned the hard way that you got to start off with a good groove, and then you come up with a cool riff, and then you come up with some simple chord progressions, and then a melody line. And then once the melody line is established and we're starting to work on lyrics, that's when you can go back and kind of mess with the chords and stuff to make them more interesting. But we kind of had the outline of the song already, and then I presented that to Chaz, and him and I just started doing the process that's supposed to be. The first thing he did is just start improvising what came natural. So it came from his heart, and it came from his talent.
He played me some, the ideas that he had musically, and I came up with some melody ideas, and we bounced it around and some lyrics, and like I said, eventually that's how Living Out Loud came out. There were other songs also, but that's how the whole thing came about. That's what started it off.
The guitar work, the lick, it's amazing. Vinny Appice on drums, it just doesn't get any better than that. And you put Chaz West in it on vocals, and I just feel like that was the first song that I cut. And I got really excited about how it was coming together.
That was a song that Alessandro Del Vecchio wrote. He's the producer. He's an amazing songwriter, a great producer, a keyboard player. I think he plays guitar and stuff as well. He's a great singer too. I can't wait for people to hear how he sings. So some of the demo versions already had vocals, drums, bass, and guitar on them. So we would learn the songs and then redo them our way. And it was something Alessandro and I called Goldieizing, because we would get these demos and they'd be kind of in an odd kind of shape. And so I would Goldieize it and turn it into something that I thought would be more interesting. Once Vinny and Sean got a hold of these songs, they really came alive, because a lot of the times songwriters will write demos to drum machines, which is fine, because it's just basically a sketch, and then you turn that sketch into an oil painting. And so when Vinny and Sean got a hold of these songs, it really came alive. So that gave me automatic inspiration on top of a great song that Alessandro had already written.
Well, you know what? This is going to be a good rock album, and there's still many fans out there that are into rock, heavy rock, metal, and this is going to be, a classic album with some great playing on it, and great soloing by Craig. There's some great guitar work. Chaz ripped it up on the vocals, and Sean on bass. We locked in together, so it's going to be a great album.
The stage is set. All you got to do is lay it down and bring the foundation, and hopefully a couple little things, twists and turns that people might not expect. Play around with the chords a little bit, but for the most part, the stage was set, and all I had to do was lock in with Vin, and it was on.
We just didn't let each other take the easy way out, not that we even really wanted to, but whenever there was no matter what happens when you're writing songs, you're gonna get a spot where it's like, okay, now what? And it's real easy to give in to the first thing that comes along, the first idea, just because it's so difficult. It can take up to 2 to 3 weeks to write one song. Not a lot of people are willing to do that amount of work for what seems to be very little in return.
Well, I think, I mean, if you know our careers, obviously Goldie and Vinny were together in Dio, and I have the, I played with Jason Bonham Band, Lynch Mob, and Foreigner, and a few other bands. And so I think it's that old school, and of course Sean, has played with, Quiet Riot and Dokken, and, the list goes on. And we've all, like I said, once again, we all know each other. It's a very incestuous world, the music industry these days. So, it can come together really quickly and easily because it's not a task really. It's just kind of a pleasure.